Right guys, welcome back to Raysons. We're back on with the Honda 6, the Honda Yamaha 6. I've just got to get it done, it's one of them. I've sat around all morning, or mainly afternoon. I've been trying to suss out the brackets. I don't know, I think I've sussed them. I think I've sussed out what I'm going to do with the brackets. But I don't want to start welding them on until we've got them set up properly. And to get them set up properly, I need to gap them all right. I might do, yesterday I said that it's got no gaps between, but I might spread the gaps a bit more so the brackets fit a bit better. So my plan is to do something before we do the brackets, because the brackets, the peck of my head now. So what we're going to do is carry on with these. What I did yesterday while you weren't here, I finished all these off. I welded all the cones up, got them rolled and welded. They're near enough ready to go. I've got three of them and looking perfectly round. 3 of them just want a bit more tippy tappy in on my bar. So I'm just going to tip tappy them, and then we're going to pull these 3 megaphones off, the 3 on the other side as well, and start welding these onto the ends. And then when I've got them welded onto the ends, that's the full bodies of the megas done. Pipes are done, aren't they? Then it's a case, I think, this always stumps me, this one does. Do we tack the pipes to the head and to the megas, then weld the brackets on? Or do we weld the brackets on, then tack the pipes to megas? Yeah, don't really know. That I really don't know. That's why we're going to go just doing these. So yeah, just going to tap these back round. Let's get these tapping these back round. So I'm going to need my little planishing hammer just to give them a tip tap. I've just rolled them up with my hands, so they've got a few folds in them, just little tight spots. Don't know if you can see that. Basically, there's a flat there, there's a flat there. So I just need to add a little bit of round into that, add a bit of round into that. Sometimes take a bit of round out of it, and just put that on my bar. Yesterday I was just doing them with my thumbs, because I've got gigantic, my thumb's nearly as big as that bar. I've got gigantic thumbs, so I can sometimes just press in there like that, and just fold it round my thumb a little bit, and just keep doing that with it. Once I had a customer brought me something like this. I think it were a band off his silencer, and he bent it all up when he'd fallen off his bike. And he brought it down here for me to straighten. And I just did it while I was talking to him. I just stood here like that. I went, there you go. And he thought I was going to do something really fancy. He brought it down here for me to fix it, thinking I had a special tool or something like that to do it with. And you just sometimes just need to do this. You just need to keep pulling and pushing on it. That'll get rid of the egg out of it 100%. It's like I can do that with it as well. Just keep squashing it about. But if there's a little bit, so that little sharp bit, I can't get that sharp. It's more of a bend than a misshapen bit. So that just wants tapping to force it out of shape. And that's the case of just looking onto the end and just tapping it out. Basically, I just need to be, they need to be as close to round as possible, so then I can try and match it up with the end of the megas, which are fairly round, to be honest with you. Sometimes the megas are round, so you make these round and they don't fit the megas because the megas are quite like a little bit egged. So it's just a case of just getting as close as you can get, and then matching them up. And then when I've tacked them on, I can tap them while they're on the end of the megas to make them a bit more round as well. Right, I'll have that one as a goer. Squash that one. Poke it, give it a poke, give it a squash. That one's not that bad. That one rolled up alright. Yeah, it's not too bad, that one. If they're egged, that's another problem. They don't sit flat on the bench. Put them on bench, they don't sit flat. So when you try and put them on the edge of the mega, they won't sit flat on the edge of the mega either. And I've done everything in my possibilities to try and make the end of the megas flat. was just watching a video by Paul Brody making a Mega, and he had some proper little fancy tool for clamping them together and clamping this together to make it go round. I have no such tool, even though I do this more than he does it. His tool were a little bit overkill, really. Like when I say they're handmade, they literally are handmade. We're just doing that, and I feel like that's exactly how Honda would have made them. We actually watched these other videos on YouTube where you're watching like some of the big two-stroke companies, and when they're making the sections for a two-stroke pipe, they do the same thing. They just do that with it, just wrap it around that bar with their hands, and then give it a bit of a tap with an hammer. That one's really eggy. Not eggy. It's not like it's not really eggy. It's just egged in a weird direction. But also, if you look at the end of these Honda, if you look at an original Honda, they're eggy. Should have maybe kept my mouth shut through during that bit, and then we could have just fast forwarded it through it. Yeah, just a little peek in it there. I think that's not an egg, I think it's a twist. I think it's got a slight twist in it. One of them, like wants to pull on it like that. Anyway, right, we'll leave that one. We'll come to that one when it's done. Next up, let's pull one of these off. Scared it. Got some of them super magnets on here. There we go. One Honda 6 megaphone. It's mad if you get the camera and you zoom into that, because these three of them stacked on top of each other. They look like really big things, and then when you just pick them up and hold them in your hands, they're dinky, little tiny little things really. It's the scale of the motor, because the pipes are scaled to the motorbike and the bike's a little dinky bike. They look like full-size megas, but then when you actually hold it that, and the size of the pipes, they're really, really, really small. Let's get this, we'll deburr it, and then I'll show you a special tool I invented. I didn't invent it, Facebook invented it. So I've seen some guy on Facebook on one of the welding pages, he made one of these. G-clamp. I've made it a little bit better, I think. G-clamp with 2 bits of angle welded in it. Then I have this here, which is like a steady hole on an anvil. Is that what they're called? So I have that there. I can fasten all sorts of little things into it, and we can just drop that into there, and it sits perfectly well. Sits perfectly. I don't know if you can see all that, but let's get camera off. There you go, Mega held into a little G-clamp. I didn't even need to adjust that up then, I just dropped it in. And it's sat perfectly vertical, with this bit perfectly flat, which is what we want. Because we were going to get then, this is my last cone that I was just messing about with my hands. You see, about here, it's a little bit eggy. But we drop that onto there. And I can lay some tacks on that. I'll get it a bit more, need to refine it a little bit. But we'll get some tacks on it. Some of the hardest things, because these have got that wave in them, is getting them to sit straight, getting them to sit vertical. You can just grab hold of the end of it, like we have with this G-clamp. Fits perfectly well. The problem I've had with it is I'm at full max on that G-clamp pretty much there. It won't thread out. So it'll only fit up to this size Mega. Something bigger I need to have. I'm going to have chop this clamp here. Because yeah, I'm never ever using no more of that screw thread. I think I'll chop this, just weld a piece of flat in it, stretch them both out. But yeah, what a tool that is. So what we'll do now is I'll have a look at that, I think, get grinder on it. There's a little bit of a burr sticking up on it here. That's not helping me. You see round the back there, there's a bit of a gap. You see my finger passing that gap. So I just need to get rid of that. Get it a bit more perfectly round. It's not far off, but yeah, get rid of that gap. Put the weld, so the weld of the reverse cones at the bottom. And just start laying some tact on. And then we can tap it into shape, get it done. Times by 6. Looking good. So I'll just do that. I'll do the boring bit of tapping that round and getting it somewhere near. Then I'll set us back up like this and we'll lay some tacks on. I'll be back soon. Right guys, just using a bit of MIG welding wire there because it's a nice tiny little bit of filler. If you use the big wire, my normal welding rods, it tends to melt this before it melts the rod. So to get this is smaller, thinner than that is. So it'll melt this bit of wire off before it starts melting this, which means you can just put a blob on and then join the two together. So I've got that, I've got like 6 tacks on there or something now, and there's a bit of a gap here that I'm going to try and sort out with my bar. Well, that's generally what you do. You do that, get that tack together, you can see there's a gap there. You can sometimes sort that out by resting it on something, leaning on it, and getting it to come together. But I feel like it's going to be a bit of a, I need to just tap the edge over on it, and just get it to come together. Get a bar on inside of there and just work the edge of it. I'll probably do that with all 6 of them. So just get the ends tacked on like that. Then work all 6 of them with an hammer just to get the edges to come together. Tack it a bit more, so put a couple more tacks on that edge. Then weld round it. So I'm going to do that with all 6 now. I'll show you one last little bit. I'm going to have to grind them in at an angle. You see the flanges there? I have to grind them in at an angle, and that bit I've never ever done before neither. I've done it on silencers, vintage fishtails and stuff like that. Never done it on a mega, and I don't know how it's going to work. I actually do need to. I've not decided yet, but you see the full flange all the way down. I might need to take half of that down. There's pictures of them where they have deep flanges on like this, and there's pictures of them where they have hardly any flange on. So I might need to grind that halfway down and then re-weld the full length of it. That's one, like I say, if I get you zoomed out a bit so you can see what's going on. And I turn my welder back off so you can hear what you're saying. Yeah, that's one done with reverse cone on. So my plan is now to keep repeating that. Get the next one off, this one. Oh, magnet's flipping, holding that tight. Get that on there. Also the pipe's holding that tight, I think. It's a good fit, that one. So we've got another one there. As you can see the end there, they are slightly egged, they're slightly wide. Might be to do with me bending them. Don't really know. But yeah, I just need to get my eye up, get my grind on the top, make sure it's flat, which still that's got a little pip on there. Drop it in here again. Lovely fit. Get the reverse cone onto that. Tack, 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 do another one. Put it down on the bench, get another one, do another one, do another one, do another one, do another one. 6 times everything, takes forever like the open Ellies that I used to do. So we've got a long way to go still, but yeah, I need to keep motoring on. So less chatting, more welding. I'll do that times 6. I'll come back when we're at the welding stage. I'll show you what they look like once I've tapped the edge together and they're looking more like a megaphone. that angle and sorting the seams out on that, I still don't know. What point do I do that? This is a first for me, first for a lot of people, first for anyone. Let's say, there's no one doing this. There were a car guy did all them George Beale ones. Really good sandbender. That's as much as I know, but it were 20 odd years ago, maybe 25 years ago. It were a long time ago when he were making them Honda 60s. No one's done any of these since, I don't think. So nobody knows, and even then I think he were probably scratching his head. I think they were big money, them exhaust pipes. Well, the bikes were 125 grand or something like that. Nah, they might have sold them for 250. They might be 250 each, 250 grand each, them bikes. Which I would say probably took him 125, 150 grand to build each one. Mega money. So yeah, I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. It's a lot of guesswork. That's all it is. It's just a lot of guesswork. So yeah, let's crack on. Right, I'll be back.